With a penalty, the mental process you have is you've got 8 seconds.
8 seconds can be a really, really long time in that moment. It's just a case of staying in it until it really is over.
You cut away all the noise and cut away all the meaning, and it's just you taking a penalty.
Hello and welcome back to the Lee Valley Hockey and Tennis Centre, where we have just seen Hampstead crowned champions of the Men's Premier Division final. Next up, we have the women of Surbiton looking for their 6th title in a row versus Holcombe, who won the league for the first time in their season. A truly mouth-watering affair coming up for you. And we're just going to have a look at the highlights of how these two made it to the final yesterday. With the umpires, Chamberlain, 2nd time. She's asked for the decision to go her way and not got given it. Phoebe Richards, she's still going, wonderful run by the Buckingham number 6, still going! And they've won a corner. Phoebe Richards, the playmaker for Buckingham in these early exchanges, doing incredibly well to power through a number of challenges. She'll be disappointed she didn't get a shot away, Zoe Shipley, to the near castle. It will be Shipley off the top, big hit. What a bit of play by the Holcombe player on the line. She shakes her hand in a bit of pain, but that was brilliant work by the postwoman. Here's Chamberlain. Little back to the injector move, really nicely executed, and Holcombe had the lead. Candice Manuel with the finish. Really nicely worked routine, back to the injector, back across. And Manuel there to finish. Is slowed down, but they're back in the right hand pocket. Frankie Stott, and there's a lovely ball across. Can Richards get a shot away? She can, but Rose Thomas is there again to deny her. Phoebe Richards with her 3rd chance of the game. Really good save again by Rose Thomas. Lewis is covering back really nicely, and she finds it, and it's now Durkee Chamberlain. Leah Wilkinson, can she get a bit of space on the reverse? Good save, Ella Jackson. Wilkinson on the reverse. To go 5 metres before they can play it into the D. And Wilkinson had it robbed there by Newland. Newland can counter, she's got Richards ahead of her. Phoebe Richards, and it's a massive overload on the right hand side. Lovely pass across to Thomas. And Thomas just couldn't apply the finish. Rose Thomas with the save. Lauren Torres with the shot, and she's very disappointed with herself. Bingham stepping up, trying to find Chamberlain. Chamberlain trying to create a bit of space. Durkee Chamberlain, what a finish! What a finish by Durkee Chamberlain into the top corner. And the Holcombe players absolutely love that. Durkee Chamberlain onto the open stick, she fires it past Ella Jackson. She got a glove to it, the Buckingham keeper. The shot too powerful a minute ago, and now with a penalty corner. And it is to Chamberlain on the near castle. Well saved by Jackson, the follow-up shot, we turned in by Viarengo, and it is 3-0 to Holcombe. 2 goals in 2 minutes. Sophia Viarengo with the 3rd goal for the league champions, and has that booked them a place in the final. Lewis, really nice turn in at screen. Lewis with a chance to lay up. Back, Chamberlain back to Lewis. What a goal! And Holcombe are scoring for fun here at Lee Valley. A beautiful bit of link-up between Durkee Chamberlain and Lewis. A lovely 1-2, and Lewis cracks it into the bottom right-hand corner. Nothing Ella Jackson can do about that. And that is 3 goals in 3 minutes, just before 3/4 time. Wills at left half. It's a really solid game. Leah Wilkinson with plenty of space. Oh, wonderful skill to get away from Shipley. Trouble here for Holcombe. Leah Wilkinson, she's going to carry it all the way into D. Wilkinson, and it's 5 for Holcombe. Leah Wilkinson Carried the ball all the way from inside her half, unchallenged, and powers the ball home. And Holcombe are going to the final in style.
On the 5, Buckinghamville, on number 17, Leah Wilkinson.
Newland onto the reverse, just plays it straight into the goalkeeper's pads, and Holcombe can counter a lovely one-time ball across to Shelley. Can she keep it in play? Some tired legs out there for Holcombe. She has managed to keep it in play. And Jones trying to feed on scraps, and it will be 6 for Holcombe. A fast break by Holcombe, and some tired legs at the back for Buckingham. Oh, sorry, yes. It was the Holcombe done for. Heather McEwen with the goal. Right hand side, Petter looking for support. She finds it in the form of Twig. Cutting back to the right hand side, trying to link up again with Petter. Twig still going. Little 1-2 off the EG foot. Lovely carry by Evans, and Twig across the goal. Jenna Wolven looking a bit disappointed she didn't get more on that. And of Giselle Ansley though. And Twig carrying it forward for Surbiton. She's managed to find Hannah Martin. And she's got Erica Sanders ahead of her. What a goal! It's Izzy Petter, sorry, with a stunning goal for Surbiton. And she gives the 5-time champions the lead. Georgie Twig broke through the midfield, fed it to Hannah Martin. She slid in Petter, who struck it home.
Surbiton 1, East Spencerville.
Atkinson. Oh, a little bit of miscontrol by Atkinson. She's done really well to win it back. And Alice Sharp will have it at the left half. Alice Sharp still going somehow, and plays a lovely ball forward. It's in! The second goal for Surbiton. The shot across the goal. East Grinstead player complaining there. The hint of back stick, you have to say. The ball popping up. 4 minutes to go before half time. It is to Palmer. Interesting set play, and whoa, it nearly worked. Sophie Bray on the reverse. Unsworth smiles. That was a really interesting routine. Laid off under her. Very close to Unsworth on the right hand side. Nicholson out to Unsworth. Palmer slaps straight at goal. Oh, wonderful save on the line. Giselle Ansley making the block from the deflection. East Grinstead looking for the deflection. Surbiton leading at half time, 2-0. Hughes, a bobbling ball into Samarin. She can't bring it under control, but they want it back. Surbiton, Locke, Sophie Bray, Ellie Rea. Can she get away from Ansley? No, she can't. Locke plays back on the ball to Sophie Bray, posted in! East Grinstead fire one back straight after half time. And of course, it's that girl again, Sophie Bray. Sharp, back to Giselle Ansley. They'll look to try and transfer this over to the right-hand side. Collins plays it straight into the stick of Bray, and Bray trying to unleash Unsworth. Unsworth now, one-on-one against Ansley. She's got Ellie Rea on her right, and here comes Ellie Rea. Ellie Rea, wide of the left-hand post. Streaking through one-on-one against Sabi Heish. Collins. Burnley under pressure from Bray. Bray's won it back. Is this the chance for Sophie Bray? Oh, she's missed it. Didn't quite get hold of the shot. Saved by Sabi Heish. In the Surbiton goal. I think they want to stay in the game. It is to Giselle Ansley on the right. Castle. What a save on the line. Sophie Bray, goal scorer and goal saver. Evans does really well to step in at screen to dispossess Unsworth. And here comes Surbiton. Petter on the right side, onto the reverse, ball across, and it's in! Erica Sanders has her second, and Surbiton have their third. And will that be enough to send them into the final? Hughes can only find Collins, and Payne has it in midfield. Payne working the right hand side. Hannah Martin's up against Hughes. Hannah Martin's managed to win it here. She plays it across, and Petter nutmegs the goalkeeper, and that surely will be enough for Surbiton. Izzy Petter with their second of the day. And that will be full time. Surbiton will go through to the final and face Holcombe, winning in the end 4-1 against EG. EG will rue missed chances at 2-1. Surbiton booking a place in tomorrow's final.
With a penalty, the mental process you have is you've got 8 seconds.
8 seconds can be a really, really long time in that moment. It's just a case of staying in it until it really is over.
You cut away all the noise and cut away all the meaning, and it's just you taking a penalty.
And there we saw how the two teams made it to today's final. Holcombe beating Buckingham 6-0, and Surbiton running out eventual 4-1 winners over East Grinstead. Holcombe, the league champions, they won 13 games, drew 2 and lost 3 on their way to the title, their first title in the club's history. Having 41 points, Surbiton just behind them with 12 wins, 2 draws and 4 losses on 38 points. Not a lot separating these two sides. I'm sure we're up for an incredibly close encounter. We can only hope for something just like the men's final, which was highly competitive outing between Surbiton and Hampstead and Westminster. Hampstead and Westminster crowned champions. Will the Surbiton women be able to avenge the men's defeat and bring back some silverware? Or will it be Holcombe who will end the Surbiton dynasty? 5 years in a row Surbiton have won this final. Holcombe the challengers today. And we're only moments away from pushback at the Lee Valley Hockey and Tennis Centre. The Investec Women's Premier Division final. And here come the teams.
Women's Hockey League final. Please welcome Holcombe and Surbiton.
Surbiton in the red kit, led out by their captain and player of the year, Holcombe player of the year, that is Steph Elliott, leading out Surbiton. One of many GB and England internationals, Sarah Evans, the number 7 there for Surbiton in the white and green kit.
Hockey League final. Holcombe against Surbiton. Teams finishing first and second in the Investec Women's Hockey League regular season. Holcombe finishing top of the table, Surbiton in second place with 3 points, separating them through the regular season. Which way will they go this afternoon? The two starting 11s for Holcombe. In goals, 1 Rose Thomas, 3 Joanne Westwood, 4 Heather McEwen, 6 Alice Wills, 7 Emma Trunks, 8 Sarah Jones, 10 Turkey Chamberlain, 11 for Holcombe Philippa Lewis, 14 Beth Bingham, captain at 16 Steph Elliott, and at 17 Leah Wilkinson. Surbiton starting like this, goalkeeper number 1 Sammy Heach, 5 Giselle Lansley, captain at 7 Sarah Evans, and 8 Georgie Twig, 11 Holly Payne, 16 Emily the Frog, 18 Erica Sanders, 23 Alice Sharp, 25 Izzy Petter, 26 Robin Collins, and at 30 Kayla Curtis. Holcombe 6-0 winners in their semi-final over Buckingham. 6 different goal scorers on the score sheet. Surbiton To a piece from Erica Sanders and Lizzie Venter. East Grinstead to the sword by 4 goals to 1. Out to umpires from the final, Anna Harrison and Emma Shelbourne. All set to get this Investec Women's Hockey League final underway. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let's play!
And Durkee Chamberlain gets the game underway for Holcombe. She's certainly one to watch out for in this game. Durkee Chamberlain, striker, full of legs. She scored a wonderful goal in the semi-final against Buckingham. Holcombe with the first possession of the game. Bingham out to Wills on the left-hand side. Surbiton jumping out. Michaela Curtis trying to apply some pressure on Trunks. Plays into Leah Wilkinson under pressure by Surbiton players. And Curtis on the dive. Can't win it back for Surbiton. Leah Wilkinson comes away with it. She played it straight to the Surbiton striker. Surbiton on the right-hand side. Payne just had the ball taken away from her at the last moment by McEwen. And Leah Wilkinson giving McEwen a horrible bouncing ball. Surbiton winning the ball high up in the Holcombe 23. Holcombe defence resolute there, winning it back, and their captain Steph Elliott can bring it clear. She's played a wonderful ball to Lewis, who has Durkee Chamberlain ahead of her. Georgie Twigg, the experienced Georgie Twigg in midfield for Surbiton. And you might see this as well during the game. Georgie Twigg dropping into the back four. Collins on the right-hand side, playing a long ball, looking for Petter. Wolf trailing out on the far sideline. Bingham picking up the ball deep inside her own D, playing it left to Wills, electing to carry the ball out. Good carry by Wills. Making good ground here, and she can't find a pass forward, but it will roll off the back line, and a good exit by Holcombe. Despite not holding on to possession, they managed to get out of a very deep and potentially difficult situation. Giselle Ansley launches a long aerial ball forward, and Michaela Curtis could be on the end of this. Trunks across to cover. Curtis again on the floor. Petter with a tackle on Trunks, and they've won the free hit. Payne over it, taking it quickly. Taking on Jones, round the right-hand side. Good tackle by Jones. A lot of the action in that far corner. Up off Michaela Curtis' stick. And it will be a Holcombe free hit again. Leah Wilkinson with her back to play. Dumping it back out to Bingham. All the play so far on the Holcombe left. Nice 1-2 with Wills. Bingham still going all the way up from fullback. Looking for Jones. Can they? There's lots of space on this right-hand side if they can find it. Bingham on the ball. Bounces it out to Leah Wilkinson into the back four. And across to Jones. Trunks, sorry. Back to Wilkinson. And finds Jones this time in midfield. Good tackle on her by the captain, Sarah Evans, and served to win the free hit. Taken quickly by Georgie Twigg. Evans back on it, playing a really nice 1-2 with Erica Sanders. 2 goals yesterday for Sanders. She plays it up to Payne. Michaela Curtis in that top right corner. Nice little bit of skill, dragging it back underneath her. But doesn't fool Jones, and the Holcombe player just jabs it away there. Eric Sanders trying to work the ball into the D. Wills it is there covering. Wills try and carry out again down that left-hand touchline. She can only find Payne though. Good back-tracking by McEwen. And maybe this will be the first time we get the ball played out here. Trunks with Westwood on the right-hand side. Westwood picking up at right half. She's got Durkee Chamberlain ahead of her. Alice Sharp to meet her. Really good defence from Alice Sharp. And she's won her side a free hit. She can take quickly. Sharp with players ahead of her. One of them is Izzy Petter into the Holcombe D along the baseline. Good save by Rose Thomas and away by Westwood. Petter with her back to the rest of the D had very few options but to keep crabbing away towards Rose Thomas's goal. A comfortable enough save for the Holcombe keeper. Giselle Ansley inching towards the Holcombe D. She plays it straight to Jones, who's looked to play it Steph Elliott straight away. McEwen on the left-hand side. Giselle Ansley wins it back for Surbiton, but it's gifted by Collins straight back to Jones. She got Durkee Chamberlain out here. She goes to hit it. It only needed a push pass, surely. Durkee Chamberlain, anyway, couldn't bring it under control. And Sharp will play it back to Georgie Twigg. Ansley on the right side. Collins down the line, looking for Sanders. Couldn't quite bring it under control, under pressure from Wills, and Wills backtracking. We'll have to play this. She won't be able to let it go out the back line. She does very well, Wills, just to lay it off to Trunks. Trunks giving the ball back to Surbiton and Collins. Twigg, nice ball into Evans in midfield, cutting back into the right hand side. She's got Susie Catlin at right half. Trunks, ever present on the line to goal, does really well again to intercept Wills. And yet again we have more play down in that far hand corner. It's dug out by Surbiton as they look to transfer it over. Giselle Ansley picking it up. Alice Sharp, number 23 for Surbiton, into Hannah Martin. Saw her brother and boyfriend, who play for Hampstead and Westminster champions, just moments ago. She'll be hoping for the same thing, Hannah Martin. Boyfriend Sam French scoring the winner. Lovely skills by Evans, still going Evans towards the top of the D. Trunks with a firm tackle. Number 7 on number 7. And it's Trunks who wins out on that challenge. Evans disappointed she didn't get the decision going her way. Leah Wilkinson out to Wills on this left-hand side. McEwen just can't bring it under control. Cagey first 10 minutes, neither side with really any clear-cut chances. Dethroned over on the right-hand side, winning a free hit, in which she takes quickly, back to Collins. Ansley right in the middle of the pitch. Plenty of time and space, she lays it off to Alice Sharp. Down the line, lovely pass to Sanders. She had Hannah Martin ahead of her, opts to go back to Sharp. Alice Sharp, back to Giselle Ansley. Collins in a very deep right fullback position. Gets it back to Ansley. Now she's got plenty of space to move up into. Ansley looking for passes ahead of her. Finds her captain, Evans, who plays a beautiful ball to Martin on the turn. She's got another chance, Martin, and she hits the post. Many in the crowd and myself thought that might have come back off the backboard, but it's powered against the post. Hannah Martin, on her second time of asking, hits the right hand upright. She had a shot here blocked by the Holcombe player. She dragged it over and powered off the inside of the post. First chance of the game going to the 5-time champion Surbiton. There, Wilkinson can't keep that in. It is Martin. Wilkinson didn't look fine there, and the umpire plays on. Advantage to Surbiton. Liv Chilton in the corner, trying to work something, and Holcombe players allow the ball out for a 16. They'll be breathing a sigh of relief there, that especially Rose Thomas in the Holcombe goal, that the Surbiton striker's shot didn't find the inside of her backboard. Payne working her way back. Alice Sharp seeing a lot of the ball in these early exchanges, as too is Giselle Ansley, playmaker for Surbiton. There's a high ball over to the right hand side, looking for Martin. Leah Wilkinson, they'll need to get her into the game. Bingham across to Trunks. She's got Lewis in midfield, and she does use her. Lewis trying to turn past Georgie Twigg. She wins foul, she can go quickly. Twigg trying to get back. Lewis moving over to the left hand side, scored a wonderful goal, link up with Durkee Chamberlain yesterday. Lewis, Bingham, over to Trunks. Time to look forward and play it up to Westwood on this right-hand side. Erica Sanders out to meet her, and Sanders does really well to get a block on the reverse stick. But Collins has it nicked back off by Jones, and now it's Sofia Virengo, the Argentinian, trying to work her way down the baseline, trying to play it back to Steph Elliott. Susie Catlin read it, and Westwood, very brave there, took a deflection off of her stick into her body, showing no sign of pain, getting back into position. Sharp in a battle with Jones on this left-hand side. Wins the free hit, Alice Sharp. And Evans just knocks it back to Ansley. Georgie Twigg switching to the right-hand side. Not much ahead of her, and Jones stepping out, trying to put pressure on Ansley. Evans in at screen, under pressure from Steph Elliott. And Surbiton showing their skill there, managing to play out under pressure. Anna Martin dropping the ball out to Alice Sharp. Very comfortable even when Holcombe step out their press, playing the ball into screen, Surbiton. So Payne even managing to bring down a tough bobbling pass from Twigg. Petter on the right hand side up against Wills, trying to drag it back inside her, still going Petter. Wills helped out by Manuel. Scored the first goal for Holcombe, first of 6 goals for the league champions as they overcame Buckingham in the first semi-final of the women's Investec playoff semi-finals. Trunks, Martin, trying to put pressure on her, a lovely bit of interplay into screen to Lewis and out wide to Westwood, trying to bring it under control. Looking for Sofia Virengo. Sharp, signed to play forward, initially wanted to play back, and she does get it. Second chance to play it back to Giselle Ansley. Wide to Twigg. Payne on the right hand side at right half. Managing to turn Steph Elliott and burning away. Steph Elliott backtracking and nicking the ball on her reverse stick. Payne takes sideline quickly and finds her captain, Evans. Slight mistouch by Evans, kills a little bit of momentum. She dumps it out. It's Atkinson over on the right hand side. Giselle Ansley over to Collins, sorry. Evans picking the ball up again at screen. She's got Alice Sharp on this left hand side if Georgie Twigg can find her. Sharp with a little bit of space. Jones trying to get back and across. Hannah Martin up against Westwood. Lovely little pass. Reverse stick. Drop off pass, but well read by Lewis. Lewis, lovely ball to Jones. Knocking it back to Westwood. Westwood just happy to clear her lines, but Georgie Twigg reads it excellently and plays it to Evans. Hannah Martin, lovely skill. But she's up against 3 Holcombe defenders, and the girls in red win out there. Sofia Virengo can stretch her legs. Candice Manuel still keeping hold of the ball. Manuel under real pressure by Collins. Leah Wilkinson out to Westwood. Holcombe trying to get a bit of possession in the Surbiton half. They haven't had any opportunities like this to set up high line. McEwen just losing out to Payne on that far right hand touchline. You can see in the crowd there some of the Hampstead and Westminster fans wearing those blue and light blue blazers. They were in good voice earlier. Payne up to Martin. These two linking up a lot in the first quarter as we approach quarter time. Martin down the touchline, trying to tuck inside Trunks. And an agricultural challenge by Trunks gives away the free hit. Payne over it. Lovely step by Wills to win out there. She can't bring it under control, and Surbiton have it back again, dominating possession and territory. Surbiton, Burnley though, loses it out to Durkee Chamberlain, trying to spark something for her side. And she found Jones, and Jones can find McEwen on this right side, and rides up Collins to stick into her face, and for the second time today, someone taking a body blow from a hockey ball and wearing it like a champ. Trunks. Leah Wilkinson dropping into the back line, which enables the halfback Wills to progress. Leah Wilkinson just lets it, plays it through Steph Elliott. Giselle Ansley there to read. And Candice Manuel gets back to challenges. Last minute of the first quarter. Best chance of the quarter coming to Hannah Martin. Striking the post, but could this be another one? Izzy Petter up for Surbiton, up against Trunks. She's got Wolven with her and Michaela Curtis. Petter trying to go on her own against the two Holcombe fullbacks, Bingham and Trunks plays it onto her foot. Is there time for one more chance? 15 seconds. It doesn't look like Holcombe are in any rush to play the ball forward. Bingham though, plays it straight to Wolven. Is there time? 5 seconds on the clock. Michaela Curtis ahead of her. And this should be the end of the first quarter. There is the hooter. Locked at 0-0. Surbiton with the best chance of the game so far through Hannah Martin. The two teams jogging for their 2-minute break. This was the chance for Martin. The original shot was blocked by Westwood. And many people thought it was in. Alice Sharp as well at left half already celebrating. Martin over to the right hand side, bang, straight against the post, desperately unlucky.
Centre and get right behind your side. Let me hear you, Holcombe! Give it up for Surbiton!
The players back on after their quick drinks break. Turkey Chamberlain getting the game back underway, and Holcombe will be hoping that they can get players like Chamberlain into the game a bit more. Far too much of this. Surbiton being able to turn over midfield, but McEwen has managed to turn over back for Holcombe and Candice Manuel. Jones wins it back off Ansley. Is this the chance for Holcombe? They play it against Giselle Ansley's foot. And a really positive start to this second quarter for Holcombe. Heather McEwen playing the ball onto the foot of Giselle Ansley. And they'll get their first corner of the game. See here lining up off the near castle, Turkey Chamberlain, number 10, Olympian, 4-time World Cup player for South Africa. Instead it's out to Westwood. Westwood off the top, bobbling hit saved by Heesh, and Evans can bring it clear over to Payne, and Surbiton should have an overload going forward if they can find their players, and it will break for Surbiton. Erica Sanders cutting a field, and brilliant tackle by Wills, stopping the counter-attack in its tracks. Steph Elliott trying to find McEwen. Collins and Evans, and Evans brings it away. And Wills again stepping in front of the Surbiton striker. Here she is, Turkey Chamberlain. Allows the ball to roll out. George Twigg will have to get 5. Chamberlain into Jones, lovely first touch by Jones. Trying to find McEwen. Beautifully read by Giselle Ansley. Westwood, who had that strike from the short corner, plays the ball into McEwen. Turning and playing forward, can't link up with Manuel. And yet again, there is Giselle Ansley to intercept. Burnley down the left-hand side. Martin up against McEwen. McEwen allows her just to settle. Erica Sanders missed her first touch, and Westwood missed it as well, but Trunks was there to sweep up. Leah Wilkinson, Holcombe's top goal scorer in the regular season. Erica Sanders backtracking. Good defensive work from the forward. And Holcombe claiming the sideline ball, and it's given to them. Westwood over it. Back to Bingham at fullback. She's got plenty of options on this left-hand side. One of them is Trunks. Opting to go back to Bingham. Chased down by Jenna Wolven, Surbiton's top goal scorer this year. Leah Wilkinson on the turn in midfield. Plays the ball straight to Hannah Martin, and Hannah Martin can run away here. Down the right-hand side, Martin looking for Wolven under her shoulder. A lovely bit of protective work by Leah Wilkinson to get back and atone for that missed pass. Trunks up to Wills. Payne just getting her body in the way, not letting Wills dance inside her. Wills back to Bingham. Over to Trunks. Bingham on the left-hand side. Wills can only play backwards here. Bingham under pressure by Wolven, and now Erica Sanders up to meet Trunks. Trying to put pressure higher up the pitch. Surbiton and Holcombe doing pretty well to hold on to possession, working their way down the left-hand side. Sophia Villarengo, lovely bit of skill under pressure by Collins, and she got a push in the back as well for her troubles, Villarengo. Recognised by the umpire. Much better start to the second quarter for Holcombe. One of the players who sparked it is Jones, as she gets into the D on the T spot. Trying to work it back, Georgie Twig. Is there Jones still going, trying to get it across. Good save by Sabi Heesh with her left foot. Somehow Jones managed to keep going along the baseline, winning the ball back off Georgie Twig. And forces a save by the Surbiton goalkeeper. Wills playing it in this time, and Georgie Twig plays it off the back line. Long corner. Good period of play for Holcombe. There, Wilkinson on it. Trunks trying to get herself up on this right-hand side. Philippa Lewis trying to play it first time, and one of the players she's found is McEwen. And McEwen, as she tried to play the ball, thumped Georgie Twig on the hand. No protective glove on that right hand for Georgie Twig. Most hockey players at this level wearing a left-hand glove. Very few operating with a right hand or a double glove look. Here's Georgie Twig, seems to be okay. Good interception by Villarengo. Collins looking long for Michaela Curtis. I mean, ball will fall for Curtis here. Can she keep it in? She can. And she's done really well, Curtis, up against Wills. And Wills wins that little battle, bringing away the ball. Wills just walking her way up this touchline and winning the free hit. Masterfully done by Wills. And getting a round of applause from a few of those fans up in the stands. Leah Wilkinson trying to play forward, and Collins just lets it go out the back line. You can hear from Steph Elliott on the sideline. She's calling for more height from the Holcombe forwards. Everyone gravitating to the ball, and means there's a lot less space for the likes of Leah Wilkinson and Lewis in midfield. Giselle Ansley with plenty of space at fullback for Surbiton, looking long, and a vital touch by Trunks. Erica Sanders was lurking behind her. Alice Sharp with the long corner. He's back out and around to Georgie Twig. Lays it back to Sharp, cutting inside, a little bit of skill. Villarengo put on the floor, Sharp still going into the D. A judge to have obstructed Trunks as she tried to turn her way onto a reverse stick. Georgie Twig and Sharp down just below me, protesting to the umpire, Harrison. Play goes on though, and it's Bingham who's bringing it clear. Lovely carry by Bingham. And she links it well with Wills. Wills with a bit of turn of pace. And Holcombe win a free hit up in the Surbiton 23. Wills trying to go quickly. Jones with a first time deflection into Giselle Ansley's shin pad. Still waiting for the first goal here in the Investec Women's final. Leah Wilkinson plays the ball into Lewis. Can't bring it under control. Philippa Lewis hitting her own foot. Giselle Ansley beckoning for her players to get forward, looking for Defrond. Trunks reading easily. Defrond wasn't 5 metres. He's having a really good start to the game, Trunks. Her and Giselle Ansley almost cancelling each other out, sorry. Petter looking to work something on this left-hand side. Plays a little 1-2 off Westwood foot. Drops out to a strike partner, Defrond. Sharp cutting in off her left-hand touchline. She'll return back out here as Giselle Ansley and Georgie Twig play there at the back. Twig working her way forward. There's a poor ball out to Atkinson on that right-hand touchline. Really difficult to take, running at that pace, a bobbling pass. Leah Wilkinson rolling out away from Curtis. Trunks up to Westwood. She's got Viarengo ahead of her, and McEwen at the top of the D if she can find her. She's going to have to deal with Petter, and she can't. Sharp winning it back. Westwood disappointed. The decision can go away. Sharp, whenever she gets an opportunity, certainly fancy herself to dribble. She's got quick hands, the Surbiton left half. Holcombe stepping up their press. Olivia Wilde applying some pressure on Georgie Twig, who plays it comfortably into Evans, and Evans plays out to Defrone. Really nice bit of interplay that to open up the space for Twig on this right hand side. Wilde across to cover though. Evans turning inside Steph Elliott. The two captains on each other, and Evans can play forward. Looking for Liv Chilton. Lewis letting in a vital tackle from Alice Sharp. Viarengo looked to be through there. Sharp knocks it out to Martin. Sharp continuing her run. Oh, lovely interplay. Hannah Martin into the D under the heavy tackle by Westwood. Stroke indicated by Harrison just below me. Stroke awarded. A massive decision just before 10 minutes to go till half time. Superb interplay on the left hand side between Sharp and Martin, and it is a big push in the back by Westwood as Martin is about to shoot. Goal scoring opportunity, you have to say. Stroke awarded, and Giselle Ansley with a chance of giving her side the lead. It was the umpire on the far side who gave it, Harrison just below me, indicating to a fellow umpire in the D that it was a stroke. Good communication by the officials. Giselle Ansley up against Rose Thomas. Ansley scores! Powerfully into the bottom left-hand corner. And Surbiton have the lead.
Holcombe 0, Surbiton 1 from the penalty spot. Giselle Ansley.
Far too powerful for Rose Thomas. And after weathering a little bit of pressure from Holcombe, Surbiton have the lead. 10 minutes to go to half time. Leah Wilkinson backtracking and passing the ball to Bigger. Harry Martin jumping out, trying to put pressure on. Westwood pick up the ball at right half, just gave away that penalty stroke and has just given the ball away to Martin. Helped out by Durkee Chamberlain backtracking, but Martin ever persistently working hard. Steph Elliott back with it for Holcombe though, and trailing by 1 goal. Bingham across to Leah Wilkinson. Lovely first time ball down the line. It's Hattie Jones up against Atkinson. Jones will be able to go quickly here, can she? No, she leaves it for Leah Wilkinson, who takes her time walking up to the ball. Back it goes to Bingham. There is space out here for Trunks. If Bingham can find her, she can on this right side. Trunks looking for Elliott, who's taking a big hit in the back from Catlin. And Surbiton can clear. Michaela Curtis down the right side, tripped by Wills. Kayla Curtis spent a lot of time on the floor in this first half. Trudges off after that tackle by Wills. Giselle Ansley, the goal scorer, to Georgie Twigg. Alice Sharp, as always, fancying her skills up against Candice Manuel. Really quick hands. Sharp, the drag from left to right, eliminating Manuel that time. Down the right-hand side, Surbiton. Wills using the back of her stick to knock it away from Jenna Wolven. Ansley electing to keep it on the right-hand side, looking for a long ball forward to Chilton. Just can't bring it under control, Liv Chilton. Westwood into Wilkinson. Oh, she's done incredibly well, and she's still going. Leah Wilkinson turning on an acute angle under pressure from two Surbiton defenders. McEwen picking the ball in up screen. Under pressure by Susie Catlin. Westwood had to work really hard to pick that up off her left foot. Steph Elliott plays the ball out to Bingham. Wills into McEwen, the number 4 at the screen. Evans just can't get the interception. Bingham looking forward, looking to try and play a ball up to Jones. Hattie Jones just can't keep it in. And they haven't managed to, since that Surbiton goal, they haven't managed to step their way up the pitch, Holcombe. Doing all their play in between their own 23 and the halfway line. Surbiton perfectly happy to let them have it out there. Ansley into Evans. Evans looking long, and there is Trunks. Liv Chilton backtracking, doing really well to jab it away from Trunks as she slapped the ball forward. Now they can come down the right side. Sanders up against Westwood. Good squeeze, pop, chip into the ground. But Wills was across to cover. Payne winning the ball back for Surbiton. And Trunks just knocks it off the back line. She'll have to work hard to get back into her position here. Trunks playing as the spare player for Holcombe. Twig against Durkee Chamberlain, two experienced players up against each other, experienced international players. Collins over to another experienced international, Giselle Ansley, whose goal is the only thing separating the two sides at the moment. Payne. Trunks wins a foul, and Holcombe will be able to step their way out. But this is the only place they've been playing really all their hockey is from these sort of free hits. Trunks plays it into Wilkinson, and again it goes back to Trunks. It's all a little bit too easy for Surbiton to contain at the moment. Bingham looking to get in Steph Elliott, trying to roll out and play forward, but there's no options for them. She has to go back again to Bingham. What can Jones do here? She's got McEwen inside her. She does try to link up with her. A poor bobbling pass, and Georgie Twigg mops up, and Surbiton keep hold of the ball. Looking a lot more dangerous going forward. Surbiton. Payne, a little mistrap, but it finds Liv Chilton. Wills against Chilton on that right-hand side. Chilton still going, lovely bit of 3D skill. Chilton trying to get into Jenna Wolven. They bring it back for the free hit. Jenna Wolven thought she might have had an opportunity to shoot there. Payne, and Evans tries to play it first time. Can Holcombe counter-attack? Chamberlain, she's got plenty of space to play it. Jones on this right-hand side. McEwen ahead of her. McEwen coming towards the ball. And Alice Sharp easily able to deal with that. Just as I say that, she plays the ball past Jenna Wolven out off the sideline. Pritard back to Trunks. Scuffed ball across to Bingham. Wills has to go back again. Bingham at left fullback. Trunks asking Harriet Pritard to get a little bit higher at right half, trying to ask some questions of Jenna Wolven at wing. And that is half time. Giselle Ansley's penalty stroke, the only thing separating the two teams at the break. Surbiton are yet to have trailed at half-time this whole season, and they lead Holcombe here. Holcombe, the league champions, with it all to do in the second half. Hannah Martin with the best chance of the first quarter, shot powering off the post. Some of us thought it was in. Only inches away though for Martin, who's looked full of energy in this first half. Here she was again, and it was her bit of play that won them the stroke. Westwood a push in the back, and Giselle Ansley stepped up and buried it into the bottom left-hand corner. Rose Thomas guessed the right way, but too much pace on the flick. And that will be the break. We will be back in just under 10 minutes with all the action of the second half of the women's final.
Wanted to prove to them that I deserved to be their teammate. When I came down to the GB trial, there weren't as many of the Rio girls there. There was only a couple. As soon as we started playing, I think all nerves were gone. I wanted to prove to them that yes, I do deserve to be here.
All set for a bit of half-time entertainment. It's the last run of the GB Hockey Hamster Wheels. And here, for the bragging rights, we have in the red wheel, Murray and Cam, who are here from Holcombe. Let's hear it for Murray and Cam and Holcombe. Into the blue wheel, we have Dave, or Beanhead as he's known, and Stevie for Surbiton. Right, the way this is going to work then, from this end of the pitch, we've got Stevie getting into the wheel, and I think they're going to get Murray into the wheel at this end. So Cam and Beanhead, if you can head to the far end with your bare feet, they can play how cold the pitch is. Right, we're going to race these hamster wheels as fast as possible. The slick tyres are on. Stevie has got that steely look in her eye. She's ready for Surbiton. In the red wheel, we have Murray, good to go. Down to the far end, change over, first one back into the D, is the Champione. Let's hear it for Holcombe! Let's hear it for Surbiton! 3, 2, 1, take it away! Sebi and Jessie are here supporting as well. An absolute flying start on the red wheel. Unbelievable performance from Murray. The Holcombe wheel. Look at the speed of that. That's brilliant. A nice bit of technique from Stevie. A steady performance. Murray tumbles out of the wheel. Unlike a tumble on speed. Look at this performance here. He's practically horizontal. Cam is powering the red wheel back. But look at Beanhead. Beanhead is flying. Beanhead is flying. He's flying in the wrong direction. He's out of the field. Holcombe, Beanhead, unceremoniously thrown from the hamster wheel. It's hugs and kisses all around between Dave and Stevie. But our Championes are Holcombe, Murray and Cam, everybody!
Back to the second half of the Women's Investec Premier League final. See there on the screens, just in the half-time break, the Loughborough students team in good voice. And they'll be playing both of these sides next year in the Women's Premier Division, having won their place in the league, courtesy of the playoffs, in Hampstead and Westminster. Holcombe trailing by 1-0. League champions up against Surbiton, who won the championship the last 5 years. Bingham, they had to start playing forward. Too much of the play has been backing around and comfortable for Surbiton to deal with. This is better. Leah Wilkinson over to Steph Elliott, wide on the right hand side. Not a lot of movement ahead of her. Does manage to find McEwen. It's a really difficult pass to gather on McEwen's reverse stick. And Surbiton win it back, and Alice Sharp will have it. Saw a lot of the ball in the first half. Sharp, it was her link-up play with Hannah Martin that won the stroke, which Giselle Ansley converted. But now Turkey Chamberlain, what can she create? South African international, marshalled by Collins over on that left-hand side. Collins plays the ball just straight to Trunks. And Leah Wilkinson lays a lovely pass up to Jones. Jones under pressure by Twig, and Jones carries one into D, strikes. But she didn't get hold of the shot. Jones rather scuffed it towards Sabi Heish in the Surbiton net. With plenty of time and space, Heish able to clear comfortably on her right-hand side. Better though by Surbiton. Bingham up to Wills. They need to play more inside the Surbiton half, like this. Trunks, plenty of space if she wants to advance forward. Cross to Bingham again. Surbiton operating with a zonal press in front, man marking in the D behind. Wills onto the reverse. Difficult skill that to cross it in, and Giselle Ansley does really well to clear it, and Payne can counter-attack for Surbiton on the right-hand side, up against Philippa Lewis. She's only got Hannah Martin ahead of her, and she has found Hannah Martin. Martin dropping the ball back out to Petter. Scored twice in the semi-final yesterday against Inskrinted, playing the ball back into Martin. A long corner off the stick of Bingham. Evans trying to play quickly. Erica Sanders. Can she turn on the reverse? Straight into the pads of Rose Thomas. Evans, the Surbiton captain, surveying the situation ahead of her, decides to drop it out to Collins. Over to Alice Sharp on the left half position, up to Sanders. Rolling inside and powering in. Hannah Martin got a touch as well. Drifted wide of the right and upright, couldn't get enough on the touch, Hannah Martin. You see here the Surbiton press high up the pitch, operating in the zones with the 3 defenders in the back marking the 3 Holcombe forwards. And it allows them and forces Holcombe to try and play long balls into space, and should allow the Surbiton players to be able to turn it over in these wide positions like this. Alice Sharp has to go back to the left-hand side with the Holcombe players jumping out. Really good carry by Alice Sharp, cutting in field and taking a big hit. Evans continuing the run forward. Watch out for that sharp drag from left to right. Sharp up to Curtis. Ball under the arm to Martin. Feinting onto reverse, and here she goes again. Trunks Wills doing all she can to disrupt, and it's come across. Sanders on the reverse again. She slaps the floor in disappointment. Eric Sanders couldn't quite get hold of the shot, under pressure by Westwood. Collins has to take the ball 5 before hitting it into the D, and she does, straight into the waiting stick of Trunks. Jones touches the ball up, and Ansley sweeps the ball up to Surbiton. Erica Sanders now with a bit of space. Defron, sorry, not Sanders. De Vrode can get back and challenge Jones. Illegally, says the umpire on this near side. Jones back to Leah Wilkinson. Scored an absolute screaming goal yesterday, Leah Wilkinson. And Holcombe will be hoping for another one today if they're going to get back into this final. Will it be through their captain, Steph Elliott, named the Holcombe Player of the Year last week? She's won aside a free hit. Hannah Martin just holds her face, claiming an elbow to the face. Can't say that I saw it. She's certainly shooken up a little bit, Hannah Martin. Wilkinson drops the ball out, but straight to Evans, and Surbiton can counter-attack. She's got Michaela Curtis ahead of her, and it is Curtis for Surbiton. Rolling back to her right-hand side, can't quite get the ball under control. And Bingham can sweep up for Holcombe. Michaela Curtis from Palmerston North in New Zealand. Actually played for a men's side in the Manawatu Premier League. Playing today for the Surbiton women. Leading Holcombe women 1-0. Jones over on the far left-hand side. Westwood dropping the ball out to Trunks. Under pressure from Sanders. Westwood just getting that left leg in the way of Sanders, protecting the ball. Wilkinson with a chance to turn and play forward. This is where they need Leah Wilkinson, running at the Surbiton defenders. Jones into the feet of Hannah Martin. And an interesting time, Surbiton decide to do a substitution. Holcombe still with the ball, playing forward. Surbiton managing to get back in good numbers. And Bingham picks up the ball at left fullback. Wills back to Bingham. Trunks progressing up into the right fullback position. Plays a lovely ball up to Chamberlain under pressure. Winning a free hit. Jones to Chamberlain. Trying to spin onto reverse. And Wills will keep it in the top left-hand corner of the pitch. Wills up against Curtis. Plays onto the foot of Giselle Ansley. She's getting her body in the way, preventing the ball getting into the deep. Bingham to Trunks, under pressure by Jenna Wolven. She as well tries to spin away, but Westwood had moved from the last time Trunks noticed where she was. And the ball just dribbles out off the touchline, and Surbiton have it back. Sanders over at left wing. Up against Leah Wilkinson. Sanders doing really well, progressing down that left-hand touchline. And just as I say that, Wilkinson gets back and touches it away, back to Trunks, who forces away to winning a foul. Sophia Villarengo can't get away from Twig, but Trunks has kept hold of possession for Holcombe. Trunks unlucky that she couldn't control it with her stick. Her left foot just getting in the way. Villarengo, flying Argentinian, up front for Holcombe, with a potential chance to get in behind the Surbiton defence. Atkinson on this right-hand side, looking for Michaela Curtis. Curtis, tackled by Trunks. Again, Curtis on the floor, spent a lot of time on the turf in the first half. Michaela Curtis, one way or another. Chamberlain looking to get Holcombe onto the front foot, plays a lovely ball out to Wilkinson. And she's got Candice Manuel ahead of her. Just can't reach it, Manuel. Final ball evading Holcombe. The link-up play between midfield and the forwards hasn't quite paid off today. And the class of Surbiton showing through. Susie Catlin into Twig, one of those class players. Still going, she wanted to play on desperately. Wanted the advantage. Evans crashing the ball in. Steph Elliott, good block, and Chamberlain can take it away. Chamberlain up to Manuel. She's got Villarengo ahead of her. Up to the Holcombe number 9 with a bit of space to stretch her legs against Giselle Ansley. And Ansley easily able to shepherd it over the baseline. Westwood cracks the ball in. Ansley Lovely forward defensive shot played by Ansley. Turkey Chamberlain showing a bit of frustration. Ansley, lovely long loop ball to Izzy Petter. Trunks across to meet her. She's got Steph Elliott in the middle. Ah, lovely first time ball across to Candice Manuel. Manuel in the white headband up against Atkinson. Plays the ball straight to Ansley on the perfect line, as she has been all game, Giselle Ansley. Chilton fighting up against Trunks. Skills by Wills. On this left-hand side, Philippa Lewis for Holcombe. Lovely backtracking by Jenna Wolven. The umpire saying she used her back stick. I can't think of a time that Holcombe have made a real meaningful connection in this half so far in the opponent's D. There are only half chance coming to Jones. Sarah Jones' shot scuffed, and Savvy Heath was able to deal with it relatively comfortably. And yet again, as they get into the final third, Holcombe can't find the connection that they need, and they'll certainly need if they want to get back into this game. Hannah Martin trying to get the ball under her control. She gets away from Westwood and plays a lovely ball to Chilton. Chilton onto a reverse. Wide of the right hand upright. She had DeFron getting up ahead of her, but Chilton electing to go herself. Wide of the post, Rose Thomas just watching it go by. Westwood up off the stick of Liv Chilton on that far side. There, Wilkinson off a different tactic, opting for the aerial ball. Saw a lot of them in the first final of the day between the men. Lovely skills by Evans. Carrying the ball still, Evans. Fouled by Leah Wilkinson, and Wilkinson will receive a card. Breaking down play. And that's not what Holcombe needed. Down to 10 for the next 2 minutes. DeFro trying to make the most of this numerical advantage. They got plenty of space on this right-hand side. Twig trying to get the ball under her control, and she plays a poor pass to Giselle Ansley. Ansley slowing down the play, back to Twig, and now they can reset. Surbiton. Ansley plays a lovely ball to the top of the Jenna Wolven. Can't quite control it, and Jones can bring it away. Jones loves that little dink over the forehand. Philippa Lewis now with it for Holcombe, up against Hannah Martin. Opted to go back to Wills. Bingham, Holcombe still down to 10. There is Leah Wilkinson sat on the sin bin bench. Trunks, back to Bingham. She'll play it over to Wills, but Wills with very little ahead of her. And as the Surbiton press comes up to meet her, she has to go back to Bingham. Bingham, good skill to get away from Chilton. Lovely skill as well by Philippa Lewis. Still in possession, Holcombe. McEwen into the foot of Twig. Now this is where Holcombe have really struggled to find any connections. In the opponent's 23, Westwood trying to work a little bit of space. Up off the stick of Twig, and he'll be out for a long corner. Really good circle defence from Surbiton, shutting out Holcombe outside their D. Of course, you have to be in the D to score. Brilliant challenge by Collins, putting that attack to an end. Manuel trying to win it back for Holcombe. She's done nice work by Candice Manuel. And Leah Wilkinson returns to the fray. Here she is, straight into the action. Looking forward to Jones. Cutting back, and she had beaten Payne, and she tried to beat her again, and Payne won it back, but played it straight into Leah Wilkinson. McEwen against Twig. And Villarengo trying to get the ball across goal. Misses the ball completely, and Surbiton have the ball back from a 16. Giselle Ansley looking long. Westwood juggling the ball down. And McEwen can bring it forward. Villarengo, can she get going? Or can it be Sarah Jones looking to power the ball into the D? Nothing ahead of her. Dancing inside Burnley and taking on Ansley. Jones into the D, and down she goes. Under her own momentum, says the umpire. And Payne plays the ball out, and that is the end of the third quarter. The score still Surbiton 1, Holcombe 0. 15 minutes to go in this one. A Giselle Ansley stroke still separating the two sides. The last break, the last chance for the coaches to give their input before we will crown champion of the women's Investec Premier Division. This is the only chance of the half really for Holcombe. Jones scuffing her shot, and he's able to clear comfortably on the right foot. Did open up a little bit for Jones. Couldn't make the most of the opportunity. Liv Chilton had a chance of her own at the other end. Couldn't find the target. Rose Thomas watching it go past her post relatively comfortably. She had Defroned ahead of her, elected to go alone. I was unable to find the target. About a minute left at the quarter-time break, and then it will be the final quarter. 15 minutes left of the hockey here at Lee Valley. 15 minutes left of the hockey season this year.
Get right behind your side. Let me hear you, Holcombe! Give it up for Surbiton!
But for all my comments about Holcombe's struggles to connect in the final third, they are still well and truly in this game, only trailing by 1 goal. Hattie Jones taking the ball up for the side in red. They started the second quarter powerfully, and they can't quite start the fourth as well as that. Hannah Martin taking it away from Bingham, and she's got Petter ahead of her. Wills across to cover, and she shepherds the ball nicely over the baseline. As the clock ticks on, I have to wonder, will Holcombe think about pulling their keeper for a numerical advantage? Our clock is actually frozen on the screen. Hannah Martin, though, far from frozen. Evans still going. She plays it into the body of Wills. And Evans and Martin embrace. They know the importance and how important that could be. Giselle Ansley receives the call from coach Brett Gerrard. All likelihood be her off the top. We saw 2 goals from Matt Guys-Brown in the men's final. Giselle Ansley, I'll assume, will have a chance to get her second of the game. We've got Collins off the left castle, Ansley off the right. Rose Thomas in the goal for Holcombe. And it will be Ansley. And it's a great save by Thomas, low to her right. Brilliant stick save from the Holcombe goalkeeper. And it stays at 1-0. Twig trying to enter. There you see Thomas, fantastic save low to her right. Keeping her side in it. Sharp back out to Ansley. Collins up to Catlin. Turkey Chamberlain fighting away with Izzy Petter. Collins back to Ansley. Surbiton looking for their 6th league title in as many years. Holcombe looking to upset the apple cart, trailing by 1. And it's a wonderful bit of skill, and she just can't get away. Erica Sanders on the baseline, she wins a free hit. Payne out to Sharp. Working way back down the left-hand side. And Sharp regathers the ball off Jones. Sharp crashing it straight into Hattie Jones's feet. Giselle Ansley, her stroke, the only thing separating the two sides as we approach the final 10 minutes. Payne back to Sharp, lovely skill by Alice Sharp. Good defence by Trunks, and here come Holcombe, McEwen. Evans, and it's a good foot by Evans. Breaking down the play, slowing down the Holcombe attack. Leah Wilkinson dropping into the back three, allowing Bingham to push up the pitch, and Westwood as well, up to Hattie Jones. And its last touch was off Hattie Jones. And Giselle Ansley will get the ball back for Surbiton. What she's looked to done from these positions is pop the ball into pockets. Here she goes again, lifting the ball over to Catlin. Can't bring this one under control, Susie Catlin. Jones looking to go quickly. Lovely link up with Leah Wilkinson. Jones just can't get it under control, and Hannah Martin will bring it away. Martin to Evans. But now it's Durkee Chamberlain for Holcombe. Trunks has gone down with a head injury in the middle of the pitch, and the game will be stopped. She seems to be okay, a little smile on her face. Safety first though, of course. Always the procedure. And there will be a bully. I assume that Leah Wilkinson will give the ball back to Georgie Twig, or will we even... There we go. Lovely bit of sportsmanship shown there. Giselle Ansley over to Alice Sharp. Hannah Martin controlling the game. Martin from midfield, getting on the ball, winning free hits, allowing her defensive line to work their way up the pitch. Sharp back to Ansley, surveying, looking forward. Not the one that Georgie Twig wanted. Georgie Twig beckoning that she wanted Ansley to play one of those aerial balls. Trunks. That's a pass that Giselle Ansley will watch all the way over the back line. Certainly a weapon that Giselle Ansley possesses, this aerial ball. Here we go again. Collins. Ball not into space, not sure I agree with that, never mind. Steph Elliott underway. Jones. Can she get past Twig? She can, but she can't get past Collins, who plays it onto the foot. And Twig will walk up for the 16. Up to Collins on this right-hand side. Knocks it down the line, and with the help of a deflection by Chamberlain, Payne can bring it forward for Surbiton. Defrone back to Evans. Wanting Payne to lead wide, and she gets the lead she wanted from the number 11. Michaela Curtis now for Surbiton. Lovely bit of skill. Now she's jinking the ball down the baseline. Rose Thomas protecting the ball from Jenna Wolven and booting it out over the sideline. And we are into the final 10 minutes now of the game. Alice Sharp trying to create another opportunity for Surbiton. Another goal here for the defending champions. Must kill off Holcombe, you'd think. Atkinson on this right hand side, trying to play it into Defroned. Hustled by Philippa Lewis. Atkinson gets it back, looking to chip the ball into the D. Jenna Wolven trying to get it under control, and Wills brings it clear. Vierengo against Sharp. Sharp with that featured drag from the left to right. winning the free hit, putting it on her foot. Jones trying to get pressure on Ansley, and Ansley responds by carrying the ball forward. Sharp, here she comes again, Sharp, working away from left to right. Villarenga this time able to match her, and Giselle Ansley is out of position here for the first time in the game. Holcombe can go forward, but filling in, if Giselle Ansley is out of position, Georgie Twig will fill in for her. Showing her experience there, Twig. Steph Elliott again for Holcombe, running out of time. The league champions. Michaela Curtis coming away with it for Surbiton, and Trunks managing to get challenging. Michaela Curtis again on the ground, plays the ball to Wolven. Wolven on the reverse. Can't get her shot away. Jenna Wolven, top goal scorer this year for Holcombe with 7 goals. Can't get her reverse stick shot away. Leah Wilkinson, the top goal scorer for Holcombe, trying to switch the play, hitting it straight to Evans. Will this be the chance for Surbiton? Michaela Curtis, she's got Martin to her left, Evans to her right. It is Evans obstructing the ball as she tries to go through Wills. And Bingham will be able to clear it into midfield. Philippa Lewis seemed to have played off the foot to throw. No, play on, says the umpire. Thrown into the D. Will this be the chance? Rose Thomas can only kick it away to Evans, who powers it into Leah Wilkinson's foot. And it's another penalty corner to Surbiton. Dethroned with the initial shot. And Claire Thomas kicks it straight out down the middle where Evans was waiting. Leah Wilkinson jumping out to try and put pressure on Evans at the top. Blocking the ball on goal, but with her foot, unfortunately, for the Holcombe midfielder. Thomas, few last-minute instructions to her defensive team. Made an incredible save a few minutes ago. Giselle Ansley it was with the flick. She is off the same castle again, Ansley. Ansley off the top, wide deflection and wide of the right-hand post. Georgie Twig was sliding in on the right-hand side. The umpire's just going to have a word with Steph Elliott, as we see there. Georgie Twig unable to apply the finish. Giselle Ansley trying to lay her up. 7 minutes to go. Elliott still protesting something to the umpire. As the clock ticks on for Holcombe. Imagine they'll be getting more frustrated, more desperate. Leah Wilkinson, what can she create? Carrying through midfield, looking for Villarenga. With a bit of space, the Argentinian cutting back inside. Georgie Twig, fantastic covering defence. A 2-on-1, Twig and Ansley. And the two experienced Surbiton defenders sharing a wry smile there after that one. Atkinson, down the line to Payne. Picking up the ball nicely, Payne on her reverse. Plays the ball into Sanders. Sanders on her reverse, up and wide. Slaps her thigh in frustration. Couldn't find the target. And it remains at 1-0, and the longer it remains at 1-0, the longest Holcombe will think they still have a chance. Villarenga against Atkinson. Giselle Ansley away to Payne. Up against Philippa Lewis, the 2 number 11s. Erica Sanders. Up to Izzy Petton. Unfortunately for Petter, controlled it with her feet. The only thing separating the sides, a Giselle Ansley stroke. Hannah Martin brought down under the challenge of Westwood. And here comes Leah Wilkinson. Time the enemy for Holcombe. Steph Elliott into the 23. Hits the ball straight off the back line. Umpire's given a 16. I was going to say it certainly took a deflection off the Surbiton player. Right decision in the end. Leah Wilkinson gearing up another strike into D. And Durkee Chamberlain's managed to put it onto Giselle Ansley's foot. And is this the chance for Holcombe? They haven't really had a sniff all game. Managed to work themselves a corner and they're still in it. at 1-0 as we approach the last 5 minutes. Durkee Chamberlain showing her experience there, just managing to play it onto her foot, linking up with Leah Wilkinson. And I tell you what, if this goes in, Surbiton won't be able to believe it, I don't think. Bingham quickly to the baseline, looking to go quickly. Is Durkee Chamberlain on this left castle. But it goes to Westwood. Westwood on the slap. And Bingham on the deflection, saved by Heesh. Villarenga keeping it in, trying to find another foot. And Evans will be able to clear to Liv Chilton. Chilton dancing inside. Stopped by Elliott. But Surbiton regained possession. And Erica Sanders over on the left side will just try and win a free hit or play it off the Holcombe stick, off the back line. Here is Evans. Play on, says the umpire. Elliott into the foot of Ansley. A well-worked corner a minute ago for Holcombe. Bingham's deflection saved by Heesh. Elliott trying to play the ball into D. Wins the free hit. And another tactical foot there by Evans, knocking the ball away, preventing Leah Wilkinson going quickly on the reverse. A difficult skill to execute. The reverse stick cross. Philippa Lewis has got across the defenders though. Hannah Martin in to get the vital touch and knock it away from Evans. From Lewis, sorry, and Hannah Martin looking to go quickly. She wanted the advantage. And time will be stopped, and this is last chance saloon time for Holcombe. They are pulling their goalkeeper, Rose Thomas, is off. We saw this in the men's final earlier. Surbiton pulling Harry Gibson with a few minutes to go, and Sam French scored the winner for Hampstead and Westminster. Trying to get a numerical advantage here, Holcombe, as they approach the last 3 minutes. Collins looking long to Sanders, even though she didn't play the ball, giving away the free hit. Wills into Lewis. Lewis wanted it far earlier than that. You can see the Surbiton players in the hunt, thinking they've got a chance for a goal here. Westwood on the right-hand side, dispossessed by Martin, and she lays off to Petter. Izzy Petter, Erica Sanders on her right, Evans on her right as well. She plays it straight to Leah Wilkinson, not the kind of person you want to give possession back to. Leah Wilkinson into Georgie Twig. And Twig will work her way down the right-hand side, looking ahead. She's still going Twig on her own. Hannah Martin making her way into the D on the left-hand side if she can find her. Twig playing the ball off the baseline. She'll have to get back into position. Twig. Jones. Straight into the reverse stick of Susie Catlin. Away to Martin. Martin slowing down the play. Alice Sharp along to Petter. Into the corner, and this will be how Surbiton will try and kill the clock. They've won a long corner, I think. Whistle late coming. There's clearly a long corner. Petter playing on, playing the ball into the goal. Umpire just having a word with it. Clock was stopped, fortunately for Holcombe, so we still have just over 2 minutes to go. Holcombe leaving 2 strikers high, and Alice Sharp down the left-hand side into the corner. Tackled by Steph Elliott, but that is absolutely happy days for Surbiton. Sharp plays the ball back to Westwood. Holcombe need the ball higher up the pitch. Surbiton perfectly happy to keep it in that corner. Sharp back into the corner she goes. Lovely bit of skill by Sharp to get away from Elliott. And wins the foot, Alice Sharp. Hannah Martin, the kind of player you want on the ball in this situation, surrounded by Holcombe defenders. She's looking to go quickly, Martin, onto the foot of Westwood. Play on, says the umpires. Well, play on, said one of the umpires. Harrison on this near side, pulling the play back. And Hannah Martin will go back into the corner as we approach the final win of the game. Jones, though, managed to win it back for Holcombe, and can they get one last counter-attack? Hannah Martin, professional foul, running back, but very clearly in the way of the ball sent to the sin bin. Now Holcombe have a 2-player advantage, but the ball from Westwood couldn't be taken under control. And the ball is played down to Sanders, Erica Sanders. Can she put the game to bed with seconds to go? No defence. Calls from the back, go to the corner, and that's what Catlin does. 45 seconds remaining now. Catlin in the corner. It is a Holcombe ball. Can they get it forward? Leah Wilkinson will have to pump it up. Straight to Georgie Twigg. Waiting patiently. Payne over to Sharp. Westwood has it. Urged forward by the fans. She can only find Sharp's stick. And Sharp wins the foul. And that will be enough, I think, for Surbiton. Sharp setting off down the left-hand side. De Frund will just walk it down into the corner. Emily De Frund off the sideline. 10 seconds to go. Six years, 6 times champions, Surbiton. There is the hooter confirming the result. Holcombe lose to Surbiton 1-0. Giselle Ansley's penalty stroke. The only goal separating the two sides. And there will be some silverware being won by a Surbiton side today. Surbiton's domination in the Investec Women's Premier Division continues. Denied the league title by Holcombe. They win today in the final of the playoffs. 1-0. And we will be bringing the presentation to you very shortly as the players celebrate and congratulate each other on a long season. A very highly competitive game. Holcombe's best chance of the game fell late on a short corner as we watch the highlights. Hannah Martin had a wonderful chance in the early minutes. Her shot powering off the post. A few minutes later though, she won the stroke that would eventually decide the game. And it was taken by Giselle Ansley. Slotted into the bottom left-hand corner. Jones had a chance for Holcombe. If she'd managed a better connection with the shot, she would have been a much more happy girl and maybe would have asked a few more questions of Savvy Heesh in goal. Heesh able to clear relatively comfortably on her right foot. Liv Chilton had another chance just before 3/4 time, putting a reverse stick wide of Rose Thomas's goal. Thomas was called into action in the final quarter. A wonderful save, low to her right-hand side to deny Ansley her second goal of the game. And Ansley then tries to play it wide to Twigg for the next corner. Twigg couldn't make the connection, putting a deflection wide. And this was the best chance of the game, I think, for Holcombe. A touch by Bingham on the deflection, straight into the pads of Savvy Heesh. And as we see there, the preparations for the presentation underway. It will be brought to you in a few moments' time by Galvanised Hockey, and we've covered all the games this weekend. All 4 semi-finals yesterday, and the 2 finals today. And been a thoroughly exciting and enjoyable weekend, if all but a little bit chilly up in our booth on the far side of the pitch as the sun cracks through the clouds in East London. It will shine on Surbiton, the Women's Premier Division champions. And then they'll go into the tunnel. The player of the match will be awarded. The runners-up medals will then be handed out to Holcombe, and then for the 6th time in 6 years, the women's trophy will be given to Surbiton. See there, the Investec zebra dancing away. I must say I'm a little bit jealous of the costume. It looks rather toasty in there. A number of candidates for the player of the match. Giselle Ansley and Georgie Twigg rocks at the back for Surbiton, and Giselle Ansley, of course, with the winning goal. Must say, Emma Trunks for Holcombe had a really good game at the back, snuffing out many Surbiton attacks. Though the winning side, Surbiton, full of top performers. Hannah Martin as well had a wonderful game. Alice Sharp at left half. Don't often hear about half-backs making the difference, but she saw a lot of the ball, showed a lot of skill, and was instrumental in the build-up to the penalty stroke being awarded with Hannah Martin. And of course, the captain for Surbiton, Sarah Evans, a star performer in midfield. Holcombe, they'll be disappointed. Though, as I said about the Surbiton men, on reflection, they'll look back at a really good season. To win the league, very impressive. First time in 4 years, that Surbiton haven't won the league. To get 41 points, 13 wins. They should be very pleased with that. We're just moments away from the presentation. First up, we'll have the player of the match, then the runners-up medals will be awarded, and then the trophy given to the winners. Almost forgot the umpires there. Another successful game for the two officials. As I said about the men's game, no controversy to talk about, that's just what we want. Really good officiating by the two umpires today.
Awards for the player of the match, and tremendous performance, leading by example. Our player of the match goes to Surbiton, Sarah Evans.
And it is Sarah Evans awarded the player of the match award. She was certainly pulling the strings in midfield. One of a number of star performers in this Surbiton side.
Well done. Congratulations to Surbiton's captain, Sarah Evans. Now let's give it up for our runners up. Making a part in a fantastic final. Let's hear it for Holcombe!
Holcombe, the runners up, will receive their silver medals. Both finals today, the league champions were defeated by the second seeded team. As I said earlier, they've had a wonderful season, Holcombe. And whilst they won't think about it now, on reflection, I'm sure they'll appreciate the work they did over the year and the good positive work they did to get to this position. Just not quite good enough on the day, but up against that Surbiton side. It's going to take a lot in the coming years to throw them off their dominant position in this Investec Women's Premier League.
One more time, let's hear it for our runners-up, Holcombe! So let's raise a roof for our champions of 2019, Investec Women's League winners, Surbiton!
And here they come, Surbiton, champions 6 years in a row. The dynasty continues, led out by Giselle Ansley.
Congratulations to Sammy Hitch, goal scorer Giselle Ansley, Georgie Twig.
Giselle Ansley, of course, the only goal scorer in today's final. It was enough for Surbiton to be crowned champions.
Emily DeFrom, Sanders, Susie Catlin, Jenna Wolven, Alice Shaw, Izzy Petter, Robin Collins, Sharbo, and Michaela Curtis. And last but not least, receive her winner's medal is our player of the match, Sarah Evans, the Surbiton captain. Georgie Twig is accompanying them. And now it's the job of John Houston to hand over that trophy.
Now Chinese will give the trophy to Sarah Evans
Ladies and gentlemen, the Investec
and Georgie Twig there
Women's Hockey
sharing the trophy. They'll bring it over to their team
2019.
and will make it official.
Are you ready to raise the roof here?
The champions for the 6th year in a row,
The Surbiton!
Surbiton.
Wanted to prove to them that I deserved to be their teammate. When I came down to the GB trial, there weren't as many of the Rio girls there. There was only a couple. As soon as we started playing, I think all nerves were gone. I wanted to prove to them that yes, I do deserve to be here.